Welcome back to the Hyperthetical podcast, the podcast where we answer the questions that you never wanted answered. Joining me today are my co-hosts Diesel and Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy February, everyone.
Today we're going to be talking about the apocalypse.
Yes.
What a great
Yes.
topic.
I think it's very fitting since this new The Last of Us show is out.
Yes, and the world ended in 2012, so that's
You know,
pretty cool.
they had to calm people down because people were genuinely getting worried about that fungus that infected the
Seriously?
brain. Yeah, they did. They had an article about it.
That's
They're
really funny.
molding.
Yeah.
Yes, today we're going to be talking about the zombie apocalypse and how to survive it. Hopefully we didn't scare you off with the last episode talking about murdering people, but this time we're murdering zombies. It's different. So, how did the apocalypse start, guys? What happened?
In a lab far away in the middle of China.
Uh-huh.
Wet marker.
Yeah. They send this hot air balloon up into the sky. And then they fly over the US and they just sprinkle down a load of bacteria on the US population. And it infects their brains. And let's say 10% of them turn into zombies.
So I'm going to go for the metaverse. It gets a virus and it transmits it straight into your eyeballs, and like you become a tech zombie. But there's these zombies walk around with like VR headsets like welded onto their eyeballs, and like they're being controlled by like a zombie virus, like a literal like computer virus. You know?
I like
that's
that. That's a good one.
You know what's probably more likely? It's probably more likely like we awaken a virus on Mars. Like the Mars rover brings back some kind of weird sample, and it's contagious, and like starts infecting everyone. That'd be crazy.
Bar salts.
Bath salts.
Yeah. Do you remember when that guy like got high on bar salts and ate this dude's face?
No,
Hey,
please
I
tell me
remember
more.
something like that. Yeah.
Oh, well, in Miami.
Wait, that's in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Of course it's Florida.
Always Florida or Poland.
So a guy named Rudy Eugene got high on bar salts, and he went out of his way to eat some guy named Ronald Popo. And he went out there and he literally just started munching on his face. He was completely roided up, like off his face, on like high, and he was just like he pinned into the ground, like plucked his eyeballs out and like ate his face. And nobody really wanted to stop him because they thought it was a bit weird because they were both naked.
Wait, why were they both naked?
Why were the other one?
I don't know. Like Rudy, the zombie, he stripped off naked, and then he stripped the other guy naked, and then proceeded to eat him. So I don't know at what point the nakedness came in, but if the zombies like are trying to sexually assault me, I think I'm gonna back out of this one.
Just say no.
To be fair,
Just say no.
To be fair, if I be eating like a satsuma or something, I do be taking the skin off. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
you know, I respect that.
I mean,
What should we start with? Just classic zombie apocalypse.
yeah. I mean, okay. What zombies are we facing? That's what we gotta think about here. Because obviously, if we're facing walkers, fuck, easy. You can just outrun them, you know. But if you're facing runners, or if you're facing like if you're facing World War Z zombies, we're done.
Yeah.
To keep it simple, just say we're facing like walkers, like walking zombies.
I say White Walkers.
White walkers. What does that
from
mean?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but they can run,
Oh, I haven't seen.
and
Game
they
of
can't be killed by
Thrones.
anything except fire or
Obsidian.
obsidian. And I don't really have any obsidian on me.
Right, no, okay, what are we doing?
All right,
Let's
no.
pick it.
So
Do you not think Last of Us? Keep it Last of Us because that's
Yeah.
relevant.
I'll be real.
Okay.
I've never seen Last of Us.
Okay, but the fungus thing, I think that's the most realistic probability, right?
I would tend to agree, or like some sort of bioagent which
Yeah.
affects your brain, and like obviously they're not like actually dead, you know, like they're not rotting like The Walking Dead, because that just makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Walking Dead is also just really boring.
What about like Shaun of the Dead zombies? Super strong but super slow.
Okay.
Like they can rip into you and like pull all your organs out.
Surely we
with
just go
their
to the
hands.
Winchester and wait for it to all blow over.
That's a good point. There we go. And
Yes.
that's just a hypothetical. A hypothetical. Obviously, are we constrained to English conditions? Like we don't have guns.
We're
Yeah.
in the UK, as if it was happening. We're in the UK.
Okay. It's
And
happening
you
right
have
now.
to.
There's zombies
it's
at your
happening
door
right
right
now.
now. What would you do?
Yeah.
Rishi Sunak would raise the prices of tax. Wait, the price, not the prices of tax.
What?
Sorry,
The
that's yeah. Inflation will destroy the zombie outbreak, and I think I took that the wrong way.
No.
Anyways. So
yeah, Rishi
there's-
Sunak would just raise the interest rates, tax you for being a zombie, and then
Yeah, you wake up one morning, right? you open the curtains, look outside, and you see there's
Boris Johnson
there's
eating a
zombies
vegan
in the
sausage
street.
roll.
Obviously, it's not like hordes of zombies because that'd be
No.
really unrealistic. But it's like just as often as
People
you see a
being like
person in the
eaten
street,
on
it's
the
like
street. Like,
yeah,
you can literally see people getting munched on.
yeah. Obviously, it depends on
To be
how
honest, I would
busy
eat
it is.
someone.
Bro, if you're in London, you're all I'm saying.
Oh, for real, for real. Like, you can't get out. You'd have to go on public transport to leave the
Yeah,
city.
I know, right?
God damn, screw paying the low emissions like fare. I'm not
Bro.
doing that.
People from London treat it like it's a lifestyle. Like they brag that they've never left the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they've never seen a cow. Like that. I'm not
Yeah.
joking. Some children in London do not know what a cow looks like, which is
Yeah.
insane.
I've just thought of a really like funny scene for a zombie film. If it's in London, there's just a guy running from zombies, and he turns the corner, and there's the London Eye. It's still turning for whatever reason, so he gets on just to get some rest. And when he gets on, there's a zombie there. So as he's doing like the 5-minute loop or whatever, he's just grappling
know.
with this zombie for like
I had a funnier one. The
5
zombie's
minutes.
chasing a dude. The dude runs around the corner. A bunch of roadmen jump him, then jump the zombie, and just start shanking it.
Oh,
Uh,
I've got one. I turn the corner, and I'm like, he's right behind me, isn't he?
Well, that just happened.
So yeah, how would you? Firstly, where would you guys go?
Well,
I'd stay here. We're on an island.
I'm in the middle of a country. I'm in the middle of a field. I'm relatively safe where I am currently. The only issue is like food. I would immediately think, okay, I need food. So maybe try and risk a cheeky trip to Tesco's. Maybe
Cheeky Tesco.
yeah, maybe a cheeky midnight Tesco bash and
Yeah.
pick out some canned food. What's the best food to survive the apocalypse? What lasts the longest? Pasta, canned food,
Pasta, yeah.
anything dehydrated.
I've heard that you can survive on a full diet of potatoes for life.
Really? I mean,
Yeah, it gives you enough.
the Irish tried that. It didn't go very well for
Yeah,
them.
but that's because all their fucking potatoes were like moldy or yeah.
The potato blight
Um,
of
The potato blight.
1867.
But yeah, like canned food, obviously. You're gonna have to do without meat for a while.
Oh,
Hang on.
yeah.
Where are these zombies coming from? So we're saying it's a fungal infection or a biomechanic, right?
Does it
Cause it-
matter?
Well, yeah,
Bioweapon.
because how many of them? Because I
Should we
want to
say-
know if
Should we say it's like? We'll meet halfway. It's like a version of anthrax, so it's spores that have been dropped out of a chemical attack.
so
out of a hot air balloon.
are they are they spreading rapidly? So like 50% of the population's contagious. Is that what you're
It's
saying?
Transmissible by bodily fluid and
Hey, I know that one.
air from
Okay.
the zombies' lungs.
Okay.
So like the spores will like be blown out of their mouth onto you,
Right.
and they will also transmit in the bodily fluids.
So I can't make out with the zombie.
No, you can't. So
Unfortunately.
immediately, masks are going to be important.
Yeah.
Regulators.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, breathing things. They're going to be important. You're going to need them.
Respirators.
Yeah, respirators. That's the one.
Respirators.
Gas
I think
masks.
I'd hide in an elevator that was on a constant loop.
What,
So it's
going
going
up and
up-
down?
up
So
and
you're going to
down,
get to
up
the
and down.
ground floor. All the zombies will get in, and then they'll ride with you to the top and get off.
I'd jam the door with something. You know, it's easy enough.
What? Jam the door so it's open?
No, you know, in some council houses, you see they have the thing against flies. So they put it on the back door so flies can't get in. It's like a mesh, right?
Right. And you think
Have
a
a-
mesh is going to hold back a zombie that could like, rip your
Chainmail. So it'd be like a
bones out.
chainmail,
Right.
right? And so I'd just keep going up and down, up and down. And when there's a
But
break,
why?
I'll... You are?
Why do you want to go up and down? What's the purpose of this? Why not stay in
Because
one spot?
Because it will get boring. Like, you got no, you got nothing to watch. There's no Netflix.
You're in
anymore.
a metal box. What are you going to watch in a metal box?
It'll be see-through, so I can see, you know?
Right. Are there okay? Are other countries still alive, or has this been a global thing?
We've been cut off.
Okay, but
We've been
rescue is on the way.
rescues on the way. All you have to do is survive for the month.
That's
Okay,
easy.
a month,
That's
like a
easy.
quarantine period.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Before,
we've had
like-
practice with this, so we should be
Yeah.
good at it.
Failed.
Did you?
I
Any of you guys
think-
ever break quarantine?
Yes.
you?
Yes, I went to work even when I had the text.
I I didn't break any rules, but I did break quarantine. I had like 5 friends around for a barbecue in the garden in
Bro,
like,
so
the
did
middle of
Boris
December.
Johnson, so
It
don't
was literally
worry.
like snowing and we were having a barbecue.
Yeah, don't worry.
When I was on a holiday, in like the summer 2 years ago, whenever I went to the Isle of Wight, and it's like the final day before we're going home, and we're just like walking around a town somewhere, or whatever, and I get a text saying, "You've been identified as being in close
zombie.
contact with someone, so you have to isolate for 10 days." And I'm just like, I physically cannot do that, so no. Then I delete the app and go home the next day.
I never downloaded
Because what am I supposed to do? Fucking stay on the Isle of Wight by myself for 10 days?
That's an idea. Stay on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, that's why I said we're in islands. Or go into a smaller island.
Yeah, but
tide. Yeah.
I don't know if they've got enough food storage.
Fish.
Fish
Won't be infected.
That's true.
You could fish rivers, lakes. You could do an island on a lake and just do a
the
rowing
Isle of
boat.
Wight is the sunniest place in Britain, so you could grow tons and tons of crops.
Is it? I thought Cornwall was.
No, Isle of Wight is the sunniest place in Britain.
Fair.
Interesting.
I think that could work because it is quite rural. There's not that many people in the Isle of Wight. But there's like enough big shops that you could get supplies.
Yeah.
It's just whether you could beat everyone else to the supplies.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to compete with people, haven't you? That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
And you've got to last a month.
Fight with your Discord server.
Yeah, here's the thing I've always thought. If a zombie apocalypse were to happen, how long before do you think people would start killing people? Not zombies, but people would start killing people.
Well, what's the thing they say about civilization? Isn't it you deprive people of food for 3 days, they start killing each other or something like that?
I've got something I want to try with my housemates now.
You just throw away the key. You're locked in now, boys. It's for the podcast.
It's something. If you deprive people of food for 3 or 5 days, and then they will revolt and they will start rioting. So I think you have about 3 or 5 days, a week max, before people start killing each other for resources.
Have you guys been really hungry where you feel almost delirious?
Yeah.
Yes.
It changes you.
It does.
Like you become more primitive. I think.
The fight and flight. The predatory instinct starts kicking in, and you're thinking, that person looks really tasty right now.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Do we know that rescue is coming? Because that could stop people killing each other if they knew that rescue was coming in 1 month.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you would.
So we wouldn't know until like maybe like a few days to like get to the rendezvous.
How would you find out?
On top of this, right, there's been a solar flare, right? So all electronics are gone, right? You've got no clue
an
outside
EMP. So like, say it's been a war against England. The way they've done it is they've dropped like a chemical weapon that's got spores that have turned people into zombies, and then they've dropped an EMP to knock out all communications and everything.
Yeah.
And that was enough. You know, they didn't even need to do anything else. That was enough to disable us. So there's no communication at all. There's no electronics. There are still mechanical items like car engines. Cars can still run. Well, some cars, not all cars, because a lot of them run on computers now. Old cars could run, like something that's 2012 or younger. That could run. You'll be able to drive somewhere. Fuel would still be good. So, you can't drink it, but you can drive somewhere and get drinkable. I mean, luckily in England, we have a plentiful supply of fresh water. It will rain all the time. Maybe the zombies will drown. How would we survive this? Realistically, we can't kill them because we haven't got anything to kill them with, unless we get like a spade or something out of the shed.
My first instinct, right, if I knew there was a zombie apocalypse, run to the kitchen, get a fucking like kitchen knife or a bread knife or something, and keep that.
Stop them.
Really?
Yeah. Like how do you kill them? I suppose
I guess you like fucking stab them in the face, really, or like in the neck.
If we're going with like the spore routine, I think any normal way would kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would bleed out.
Or like get a fucking baseball bat and just kneecap them so they can't move.
They'll probably still come at you though.
So, if you kept moving, like in a vehicle, so you just kept driving up and down a motorway, would they actually be able to get you?
No, but
For a
also,
month?
what's the point?
Staying alive.
No, but what's the point of driving for the sake of driving when, if you go somewhere really rural, where you probably only see like a dozen people a day?
What if these spores have affected animals as well?
Oh, that'd be the worst. Then you can't choose what you eat.
Think how many dogs and cats would now be feral and they'd be
Oh
attacking you.
no, I don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
Can you imagine getting just like you step out your car, you start getting attacked by
I don't want to
cat.
think about that. Don't say that.
Well,
You see
I mean-
when like a fox gets rabies, and
Yeah.
it just goes proper and attacks random people.
Yeah, and dogs, they get rabies, they attack you, and all it takes is a bit like that dog to like bark at you to spread its spores to you. You know, it would one bite and you're done.
Nah, we're not doing this. I'm sorry, we're not talking about violence on animals.
Nah, murdering people on the Hyperthetical podcast, enslaving hamsters to power our energy, supersonic reindeer, all cool.
I cannot, in all good conscience, say, oh yeah, in order to survive, if necessary, I would swing a baseball bat at a cat. I'm not saying that.
I mean, I probably
Well, I
would.
would.
Like, I'll be real with you. If it's me or the cat, the cat's going.
There doesn't have to be an apocalypse. I'm swinging at the cat.
The dog's dead. There's seafood linguine everywhere.
What?
That's what you said last episode. If you haven't seen last episode, go check it out.
Okay, so what would you think would be the best thing to do in order to survive? Because I don't think you could stay in one place unless it
No.
was very rural.
You would have
But also, I think driving up and down is just very pointless because you'll go through a full tank of fuel in a day, and then you've got to fill
that's
up.
true.
like
And I suppose you're very vulnerable when you're filling up.
yeah, and then like how are you gonna like get fresh food whilst you're driving?
And that's
everything?
assuming like nobody's crashed and caused a big pile up that blocks the roads.
Yeah.
So roads are pretty much out of the question. Like if someone got infected while they're driving, then that's it. The road's going to be blocked. You're not going to be able to get through.
I think the best thing to do is just find a really rural village somewhere, kill all the zombies, and then you will live together.
But you would
And-
have to walk to that village. You'd have to
I
find
know.
some route.
No, you
zombie-free to
wouldn't though.
walk.
You wouldn't though.
Why not?
Well, you just drive and then.
But the roads are blocked. People have got infected and crashed their cars.
Well, not all of them, I'm sure.
Not all of them, but I'm sure all the roads at least have one car crashed on them that's going to block the road.
Okay, well then, let's say you walk to a village, right? The villages are as we talked about last week. Villages are interconnected by footpaths and roads. You walk there, you get to a village. I say you do a full clean out of the zombies in that village, and then like repeat that daily, and then you just survive together, help each other.
Yeah, but what you got to remember is that those zombies won't have people to eat in villages, so there'll be more of them just hanging around. In
What
like
do
a
you mean?
city centre, they're going to be hoarding on people. They're going to be swarming survivors. You have more chance of running into one in a village than you do in a city.
I don't think. Yeah, well, you may have more chance of running into one in a village, but it's probably one isolated. Like, I'm sure we could all deal with one isolated zombie.
I
If it
don't
came to
know.
it.
I don't know if they're as strong as like Shaun of the Dead zombies or like
No,
the Miami
literally,
zombie. They could
bro,
overpower me.
I would just run around in circles, like throwing fucking stones at it or something. Kick it in the ankles, fucking knock him over, stamp on his head, right?
Bro, there's over 100 abandoned castles in England alone. So
Is
I
there?
would map out the best one, the most structurally integral one, right? And I would go to that one and camp out with my family or some shit,
It's not
There's
a bad
loads.
idea, but you'd
That's
have to
not
get
bad
to the
idea at
castle.
all.
There's probably loads there, mate, to be fair.
You'd have to get to the castle.
Yeah.
Hiking
Well,
through...
we've got a car, you've just said.
Well,
You drive to a castle.
but what if that castle had sheep near it and all those sheep have been infected? I mean, if you're in Wales, you're dead. There's more sheep in Wales than there are people. And if all those sheep are infected with the zombie virus, you're dead.
Okay, banter, right?
Yeah.
I want you to. We'll go around like we did. I want you to propose what you would do then, because me and Chris are both.
Good point. Good
What
point.
would you do?
I would actively go to right, first thing, I would need to secure food, a steady supply if I could. So I would need to go to a supermarket. I'd probably leave it a few days, make sure all the survivors have gone there first, and then I would go. Because at that point, there's less chance of running into people that are going to, hurt you to get food. And that's the real threat to me. I think another person, they would be more intelligent. They would wait until someone got food before, killing them and then taking the food off them. So I would wait for all the carnage to blow over, and I would just scavenge for anything that was left over. Anything that I could find without the panic in the back. Because obviously, if I leave it a few days, there's going to be less panic. So I can go there and I can take my time really searching for stuff to find. Check the back areas that people might not have looked in.
Do you think that will, realistically, do you think that if you just waited until it was all over in 3 days, all the initial panic, do you think there would be anything left?
Bro, did you not see when there was a toilet roll shortage? Did you not see that? And then all panic people would go, and then all the eggs are gone. All the eggs are gone for some strange reason, So they'll probably all be gone by the time, after a few days.
Yeah, but I mean, if everyone's scrambling to get it all at once, they probably haven't really thought about things very well, and they haven't gone out of their way to look for items which might not have been touched. I mean, there will be loads of abandoned houses you could scavenge. Find 1 can of beans in each house. You've got 100 cans of beans.
I think that's a good thing to do, actually.
So,
Go to a village, right? And just go house by house.
Yeah.
Fill up your pilgrim.
Clear it out. Be quiet on your own, stealthy. If you've got family, keep them at home. Keep everything secure. Only one of you go out at a time, or maybe 2 of you to make sure that you can get help if you need to. And you'll go out. You'll just go through each building, collecting anything you can find. I mean, you can eat clothes to survive. You can eat cotton to survive if you need to.
So what we're saying is, if you're an only child, you're
yeah. Well, the less children, the less siblings you have, the more food you'll have for yourself.
Yeah, but then you've got to be like a lone ranger, like your parents.
That could be cool.
I mean, that would be cool.
But they're like a walking pantry. So if you've got a sister you really didn't like, keep her alive for a bit, then eat her.
Yeah. I think that would be the best.
I'd eat the pussy first.
Scavenge. Okay. Scavenge until you found everything you need, and then you would go and make sure you've got at least 30 cans of beans, and that's 1 can of beans a day. You can survive off that.
Beans all the time?
Well, they're in cans. You can go for spaghetti hoops, but I don't think they're as nutritious.
I love spaghetti.
and think about it. Freezers will keep for about a week.
True.
So there'll be stuff in freezers that will stay there for about a week without power. So there's a lot of potential. You can just go around, scavenge what you can, bring it home, and just hoard it. Don't move. Don't do anything. Don't make loud noises. Just sit. Get water from your hose pipe, because the water will still be good. It wouldn't have been touched by spores because it's in the pipes and everything. In fact, I would actually recommend you filling loads of water up at the beginning and then leaving it. Forget washing. You're gonna stink. You're basically a rat. You're basically a rat that's scavenging anything you can grab, anything you can munch on. You're taking it. You're eating it. Everyone else, they can die. You're just gonna be there surviving, and then you'll get the all clear. 3 days before they come, before help comes, you'll get a message saying, "All right, go to this location," and then you gotta worry, because then. There's going to be a lot of zombies, and they're going to be following survivors, and they're all going to be converging on that point.
I feel like it's sort of like if it gets to that point where it's get here to get out, almost like you're extracting, right? I feel like if you bumped into someone, you'd be like, "Oh, you're right. Let's stick together, look out for each other." I feel like that would...
No, it would with people, but the problem is all the remaining zombies will be converging on that point as well.
How do they know?
Because they'll be following survivors.
Yeah, but...
All the survivors now, let's say they were collecting people at the Isle of Wight. Yeah. All the people running down to get to the Isle of Wight, they'll be getting followed by zombies that will see them drive past.
Where have these zombies suddenly come from?
From all over the country. All the ones that have been waiting for people. they'll start seeing them, driving along, and they'll follow the cars, and they'll see another car, they'll follow that, and all the zombies will converge on that one point. You're going to have just a horde, the whole population
and
of the
then
country.
It's like final boss battle.
Yeah, you've got to get there first. So you've got to make sure that you're ready to go at a moment's notice.
I feel like they would in that situation. I feel like they would have many different points. Like they wouldn't just have one for the whole country. I feel like they'd have hundreds.
But remember, there's 76 million. No, I think there's 80 million people in this country now.
I think it's officially like 68, but it's probably 70 now.
Oh, sorry, 67 million in the UK.
Wait, can we go back to mine? There's a seed vault, right?
Right.
In Norway?
Yeah. Oh, you know it. Right?
Yeah.
They're building one in the UK, right? So I'll wait for something. It will be like Kew Gardens, right? They built it probably won't be as good, but it's basically built to withstand a nuclear apocalypse, so that at least still have the seed diversity.
Oh, that's sick.
So what you're saying is you can go in and eat all the seeds.
Eat all the seeds. You got millions of years worth of seeds.
No, but surely you would just wait until the whole zombie apocalypse is over before you start regrowing everything.
No, it's somewhere to hide, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what I want to discuss now is what's everyone's weapon of choice.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Something that's rechargeable, I think. I don't have to keep looking. Yeah. So I don't have to.
Oh, bro, a drill would be sick.
But the EMP's been dropped. All electronics are fried.
Or something lever action, then maybe.
Right. Like a pair of shears? Not like you got a lever action shotgun in the back.
Bro,
no one has guns.
When they killed the Japanese Prime Minister, bro, he made that out like junk. Like the gun. Did you see it? He made a junk shotgun. He made a junk shotgun, made tin cans, coils, and all that. So I'd have a really low-tech rifle that's lever action or some shit.
Do you know how to do that?
No.
Exactly. So
that might be the
I think for me.
Oh god, he actually did just tape a load of stuff together.
Yeah. It's easier than you think.
I think for me, what I would do, like I say, something small, light, and sharp. Because you don't want to be carrying something heavy that's. Also, you don't want to be loud and draw attention to you.
True.
So I think something like a kitchen knife is probably the best thing. So you can.
I disagree.
Sneak up on zombies and slit their throat and boom.
But I would disagree with that.
Okay, well, what's your choice?
Because if you're using a knife, that takes time for someone to die if they're stabbed or something. If their throat's cut, you've got a few seconds where you're close enough where that zombie can grab you and bite you. Because they won't be recalling in pain. They won't be panicking. They'll be kill immediately.
Well, surely it is. Sneak up behind them, slit their slit their throat, and then just back off and let them. Surely you wouldn't just stand over them and be like, "Haha, I got you."
Could you back off fast enough? It would immediately turn around to try and grab you.
I don't think it would, to be honest.
No.
No, I think if you slit someone's throat, because you don't have to touch them, you just have to sneak up behind them, hand round, then arm reach over, one swift action, and then back off. I don't see the issue there. But yeah, what's your?
I could grab someone like that.
What's your weapon of choice?
Well, immediately I'm thinking take out the CNS. The central nervous system's going to control the zombie no matter what. Even if they even if the zombies didn't rely on blood, the CNS is going to send messages through the body. So if you punch one, it's going to take a while for it to bleed out and lose oxygen before the muscles stop working. I mean, even if a zombie bleeds out, it might still work on just. Chris, you're a biochemist. When the muscle hasn't got any oxygen, but it can still move because it's got
anaerobic respiration.
Is that it? I don't know. It's got embodied energy left in it.
Yeah, but you can only do that for 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's still more time you got to worry about. If I had say a pitchfork and I stab a zombie in the throat, it's still going to come at me for up to a minute.
Yeah, but then surely then you just run away.
I don't know if I'm quick enough. I don't know what they can do.
How fucking slow are you, bro?
I haven't run in a while. But
are you the kid that never ran in PE?
Yeah, to be honest, I used to jog.
Oh.
I'm fat, dude.
Oof.
So my thought, take out the CNS. So blunt object to the head, knock it, destroy the brain instantly.
Can I just say, to anyone listening to this, right? If you were ever in like athletics club at school or whatever, you're in the clear. You're good.
Yeah, to be
Right?
fair. Yeah, endurance for real. Humans are endurance hunters. That's either good
That's
or
what we're
bad.
built for.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But
yeah.
does that not mean a zombie could run for a long time?
Well,
Well,
what's the energy source?
Or at least walk for a long time?
Exactly. What is the
Yeah.
energy source?
I don't understand when
Is it the flesh? Like,
Yeah, are they breaking down or what? What is
I guess.
Well, they are going to use their own. They're just a normal. I mean, in this situation, they're just being controlled by something. They're still a normal person.
But so let's say a zombie. There's one zombie. He's got really unlucky. Hasn't eaten anyone for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How long before he is just too weak to be a threat?
Well, how long can a human last without food? I think that's just the question.
He can't be brain dead, right? A zombie can't be brain dead.
Why not?
Because how would you move the muscles? It's electric.
You can
ions.
You can electrocute a dead thing and make its limbs move.
Yeah.
Like you ever seen where Pickle Rick takes over the cockroach and like uses the tongue to like press the brain parts? You know?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Well,
Yeah.
you need the ions in the first place so that it can't be brain dead. Otherwise, there's no ions.
With no food or water, about a week apparently. I mean, there's this story of a guy who got lost at sea and he survived
Yeah.
for something like 100 days just by eating raw fish. He survived
fish
for like
blood.
and collecting water, like collecting rainwater. That was it. He survived for like 100
Is that
days.
the guy from Lost or whatever it is? the
Nah, he
film?
was in like a little life raft just floating. So this guy named Stephen Callahan, he spent 76 days adrift in a life raft. So he survived that long just on like fish and like the bare minimum water.
How'd you catch fish though? 'Cause you're just floating along like that.
He literally just
Scoop
waited
them
for them to gather around the bottom of the boat and just grabbed them.
Okay.
So yeah, these zombies can survive for a month. Like, there's no getting around that. They can survive for a month.
Yeah, but how they may be able to survive, but are they strong enough to be a threat?
Someone did a video on this.
Not enough energy
The Walking Dead.
to move.
Right.
It wasn't even that would kill it, the zombie. It was the rot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
these guys
The
aren't
gangrene.
rotting. They're
So they
just
still have an
controlled.
immune system somehow.
Well, they're just being controlled. Their CNS just being hijacked from
Okay.
these spores
Okay.
that are growing
see.
on them, and that's why my perfect weapon would be something that would just take out the brain or take out the spine,
Such as?
something that won't get stuck in their head, a blunt object, something that's quite easy to maneuver, nothing like a sledgehammer where it's designed for smashing. I'd use something that's quick strike, top of the head, even like a ski. You know, a ski could do that.
Yeah, but
Quick strike,
that's a
bang.
bit like big and
Upper
cumbersome.
class,
and-
yeah.
You'd have a katana, wouldn't you, really?
No,
Bro,
katana would suck. It would get stuck
Why
in
would that
bones.
No, it wouldn't. What
It
do
would
you
get
mean?
stuck.
No, bro, you just cut them fucking heads off.
There's the might. I mean, it will blunt and it will get stuck in the neck, and you won't be able to pull it out, and then you're dead.
Why not? Just fucking pull it out.
So why did the
be an
Japanese
alpha.
use it then? It was so good.
Yeah.
The Japanese
okay.
got nukes. Why don't we just use nukes instead?
So what
Makes
what
it
type
better.
of blunt object, Banter? Like what specifically?
I was trying to think what I've got lying around my house that's readily available.
Yeah, I think a hammer might be good.
Hammer's too short. I'd want to keep at least an arm's distance away from them.
Well, that's what you do with a hammer. You hold it with your arm.
Yeah, but then they can just grab your arm when you swing at them.
Well, then you've got to be careful about when you strike. You don't just be like, "Hello, zombie. I'm going to hit you now." Bang. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to react and stop you from hitting me." You gotta be stealthy. You gotta sneak up behind them.
Like
Run
a
round in
tire iron or a
circle.
crowbar. A crowbar would be
A
sick.
crowbar would be
Crowbar
cool
would be
because
good.
that's multifunctional.
Yeah.
You could use that in so many ways.
Actually, I think the crowbar would be a best option in a zombie apocalypse.
What about you, Chris?
Ooh, well, I said the lever action thing, but maybe not. Maybe if it has to be like an actual blunt or sharp object.
Or just something that you could get today.
I would. Okay, you know what? I'd go for like a really long golf club, maybe a really expensive one,
A
because like
golf
it's got
club.
the reach. It's metal. It's
That's
got
true.
It might bend.
Yeah,
I
a really
don't-
strong one though. I don't. Think it's-
I don't think they would.
I don't think it's supposed to bend.
I mean, if you're really good at golf, you can hit a golf ball at like 80 miles an hour. So
Yeah. Or I have a lot of mates who are farriers, and they have a ton of weird metal equipment when
What
they're
the hell
smithing
is a
things.
yeah, what's
farrier?
a farrier?
A farrier is someone who's a shoesmith for horses. So they smelt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they smelt it all themselves. They're basically blacksmiths,
Right.
and they have all these fire tongs that can withstand like 500,000 degrees Celsius. So obviously, I'd probably use that, to be honest.
What about you, Diesel? Your perfect weapon is you.
I think just a kitchen knife, like a
Yeah,
bread
a
knife
kitchen
or a
knife.
kitchen knife.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would be very particular about how I attack.
But not a slash, more of like a stabby stab.
No. Well, it depends. I think, like I said, if I can sneak up behind them, I would do that. And like,
would you risk that though? Because they could just turn around and bite you, or maybe.
well, that's the thing. If they turn around, I think I would react in time and be like, run away.
Do zombies stay still?
Well, no, but if they're like, I don't know actually.
What will they do in their off time when they're not hunting?
I think
do
they
something.
sort of just idle walk around.
Yeah,
sort of like,
or they just, I don't know, sleep, conserve energy, I guess.
Yeah.
PC mode.
I think
Yeah.
if there was a zombie coming at me, I'd keep my distance, and like if it swung at me with its arms or whatever, I'd like slash my knife to just like fucking like bat them away or whatever.
Mm,
And I think I'd just wait till the perfect time if I can like get behind them and
yeah.
whatever, or
I would
knock them over.
I would immediately run to higher ground and then
Yeah.
hit them from above.
Yeah.
So like if there was a flight of stairs, I'd get to the
Yeah.
top and then hit them from above where they couldn't reach me.
Yeah.
Or like a ladder. Oh, a ladder would be so good. I don't think they'd have the motor function to climb a ladder.
Yeah, but
they
surely
probably
they just
wouldn't.
pull it out from under you.
No, it would be one that's like a fire escape. It was fixed to the wall.
Oh.
That could be good.
Imagine just staying on a ladder for a month.
Yeah,
Just-
they're all just trying to work out how to. Oh, but if they like World War Z and just like form a massive like pile and just walk up to you,
Yeah.
that'd be what else could you do to survive? Like, obviously, you're putting yourself at risk by challenging them with a weapon.
Yeah.
Your best option in any situation is to run, I think.
Oh, most definitely.
Rather than fight, you've got to run. Like, yeah, you can have a weapon just in case, like you can't run, but you've got to be able to fight them.
Oh yeah.
Or run from them. In terms of surviving apocalypses, I think zombie is like the easiest one to survive.
Yeah.
But then what if there isn't a rescue? What if it's indefinite survival? Like, you're not just surviving a month, you're now surviving your life.
Yeah.
I think it becomes as simple as move to like close to within like 5 minutes driving distance of like the nearest like Sainsbury's mega warehouse, and basically do what the guy did in The Last of Us episode 3, where like every so often he'd take his truck, go to the warehouse, fill up on supplies.
But then it won't sustain you forever. Couple of
But
years,
that's
maybe.
the thing. No, after that point, you use that time of using that those like canned goods, whatever, to become sustainable. Like get animals, if you can. Obviously seeds, plants, fruit and vegetables.
Yeah, you got to immediately think of how you can sustain yourself. So
Yeah.
maybe go to a supermarket, I don't know, find the odd potato lying on the ground, pick up, plant it straight away.
Yeah.
You know, and just start being sustainable. Think about how you can stay in one place and avoid zombies. Again, have have a farm and then have a safe refuge to hide in. Like a building on stilts where you can just climb a ladder and sit on top of it and just make sure they don't climb up.
They have those actually in countries like I think Indonesia or India, where they have like floods or earthquakes, where they're designed to disperse the energy from the earthquake, but they're built on stilts, so it's sort of just a safe house, like in the middle of like nowhere.
Yeah. We have
So
castles here. I mean, as Chris said, you could just get inside a walled structure and then you're safe. Like something that's just impenetrable, and you can farm inside of it.
yeah,
Do you not think like the space station, because they have their own like crops up there? They actually have.
do they?
Yeah, they grow
can
stuff as
survive.
part of. So they're away from everything. They've got a constant water source
Yeah.
because it's constantly recycling. It's a closed system. It's like Earth.
So your first move in the apocalypse would be to start a space program. Yeah,
Go to space.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Go to Mars. Why not? Just. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to Mars now. I'll hit up my boy Elon. He's gonna quickly zoom me up there.
You're done. You're sorted.
Yeah.
I mean, they eat their own shit. No, they can plant their own shit. Sorry, they don't eat their own shit, but they plant it. They plant like potatoes and all that in it.
Yeah, that's how you get fertilizer. You can, just plant your own shit. What other apocalypses are there that you think you could survive?
Social media. The social media apocalypse.
Social media.
Yes.
What about like just a? To be honest, I think the most scary one would just be a complete collapse of civilization. No apocalyptic event to trigger it, just riots. People get sick of being poor and they just riot.
There is a likely one we'll see. That's the solar flare one I said before, because that's hit Earth before.
Oh no! I remember one time. I think it was my 7th birthday. I was sick, unfortunately, but at the same time there was a solar flare. So I was at home sick all day, but I also couldn't watch TV or anything, and it was the longest day of my life.
You know, the Earth, I think it was in the 1900s, maybe like 1912, the Earth was hit by a massive solar flare. That it
was 18 something.
18
I know
something.
what you mean. Yeah.
And if we had it today, it would knock out all technology on the affected side of the Earth. Like, we'd be completely without technology, and that would be civilization collapse, and that would be terrifying.
That was the Carrington event, 1859, and it shorted every, because they only just had telephones then, and anyone on a telephone literally blew up. It was insane.
Yeah, something like that today would be devastating.
Yeah, everything would fry. Everything.
Yeah, the Carrington event. Yeah.
So tell me a bit more about that, because I've not heard of that before.
Well, essentially, it's a geomagnetic storm. So the sun is very dynamic. It has weather, and it shoots off literally parts of the sun when it has massive flares. And it just so happened that year, a part of the sun was flung, hit Earth, and it absolutely overrid the whole system, like the whole geomagnetic system of Earth. And it went straight through the ozone and hit us, and we're very lucky that it was 1859 and they didn't have all sorts of stuff back then. But it was crazy. Birds were falling out of the sky. It was insane.
That's insane, man.
You could see the Aurora Borealis in Jamaica, so you could actually see the Northern Lights in the Congo.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
I mean, a geomagnetic storm, I don't know actually what it is. It's not like concentrated radiation. It's just like a magnetic field, isn't it?
It's ions. It's really hypercharged ions.
Yeah. And so it will just completely short out any.
Well, that happened again. We only missed one recently, actually. One narrowly missed Earth not so long ago, actually.
Yeah, they're very common, common. But we've just been lucky that it just hasn't hit us, and the ones that have hit us have been small. They haven't done any permanent damage. But it's something like, something could seriously destroy technology, and then that's it. I mean, you wouldn't even need zombies. Humans would just start killing each other straight away.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine how people would live without electricity?
Well, the thing is, it wipes hard drives. So even if you've got stuff off and there's no electricity running at all, it will still wipe hard drives.
Yeah. So and it will create a massive amount of static as well. Anything you turn on afterwards could still blow.
Yeah.
Capacitors, all capacitors would be fried.
Scary, isn't it? Think about it.
Yeah. There would be literally no technology. Maybe the government would have some kept safe underground somewhere.
Well, you know what they did? They shot sort of like a USB stick to the far side of the moon. I don't know if you've seen this.
No.
They've shot it. I think it's like an undisclosed location right now, but it's like basically a system restart. So if Earth got hit really badly and we essentially lost the whole wiki. We've got at least a restart from like the year 2004 or whatever it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, if power went down, like, people wouldn't know how to cook, they wouldn't know how to heat or do anything anymore. Mm-hmm. And it would just be carnage immediately. People would start killing each other for food. Like, you wouldn't even need to wait until people got hungry. It would be instant. People would panic. I mean, you saw what happened just by going into lockdown. The whole shops were swamped. Everything was taken.
People would panic, right? But I don't think they would instantly start murdering each other.
They almost killed each other over a toilet roll in 2020.
No, but I don't think they would be like, oh, what the fuck is going on? My electricity doesn't work. I'm going to stab this person. I'm not sure about that. I mean, obviously, after a certain while, if like this person has supplies
I
and you
dunno.
need said supplies,
You've never been to Harlow.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, that would be a scary one. I think I might be able to survive that, but I don't know. I just don't know. Any madman could just walk into the house and just like bat me over the head with a shovel.
Yeah.
Like while I'm sleeping, I wouldn't even stand a chance.
I doubt my survival skills, you know. Like if
Oh,
I was put in the
seriously?
middle of a woodland,
Yeah.
I'd eat the first berry and die.
Well,
That's all I'm
look,
saying.
dib dob dob. I was a Boy Scout, so I have very basic. Like I know CPR, I know first aid, I know how to cook on a fire, I know how to make a fire, I know how to like distill water. So I have like very basic survival skills, but like I just don't even know if it'd be applicable in that situation. Like,
Yeah.
what animals could you realistically hunt like right now? I could lay traps, but I don't even think I'd catch anything.
Yeah. That's the thing. We're
Guns
clueless.
would still work though.
We're clueless.
Yeah.
I don't even know where the hospital is. If you threw me in the middle of the city right now, I ain't got a clue where to go.
You know, ironically, the
I got a clue at
easiest
all.
apocalypse to survive is a biblical one. You just
Which
have to be
one?
somewhat of a decent person.
Well,
then
what if
then
you
you
just-
get past, don't you?
Can you not also just like kill your firstborn and put their blood on the fucking door or whatever?
True.
You know what? I think you should try it right now at home.
Yeah. If you have children,
Yeah, I mean, we all know that the world ended in 2012 anyway, so this conversation is irrelevant.
this is just a simulation. Wake up, 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 wake up,
You're
wake up.
dreaming.
Wake up, wake. Chris, join in. Wake up, wake up,
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Everything went shit since Harambe died, I'll be real with you. Nothing's been the same since.
Listen, I said the same thing. When Harambe died, that was it. The floodgates were open.
Everything's gone shit since. Like, what other apocalypses could you survive?
What about climate apocalypse?
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
If sea level rose by like a meter or whatever. So firstly, goodbye the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Secondly, goodbye like most of the coast of the UK.
Well, most of Cambridgeshire would be underwater.
Yeah,
because
and like most of like Norfolk, I think as well.
The Fens, that's all reclaimed land. That's basically like the same as Netherlands. It's all irrigated. So if the sea levels rose, and London would be gone because the Thames Barrier barely keeps back the sea at this point anyway. If that rose, the Thames Barrier goes. Like if it goes around, done. London's gone. Where I live, I'm quite fortunate. I'm like quite high up. I'm on a big hill.
Yeah.
And so I would become an island, and I think that would be sick.
I think it would be so cool to live in like a post-climate world where there's just fucking islands everywhere,
like
and you have to just boat to everywhere.
Yeah, if you want to have a LAN party, you have to put your PC in like a rowboat and like just paddle over to your neighbor.
Bro, that'd be
so cool.
That means I could like own a kayak now.
I've always said
now I have a reason to get a kayak.
Wouldn't it be worse having an ice age? Because it would be harder to survive an ice age.
It would.
Yeah, because the whole planet's done.
Like a super volcanic eruption where like we got put into like almost nuclear winter, where there'd just be so much ash in the atmosphere, there'd be no sunlight and no heat.
Yeah,
that would be terrifying. You could only burn fuel for a certain amount of time.
Hang on. Wait. See, if there was a like a super volcano eruption, the cold wouldn't be your biggest worry. It would be pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis, which is the disease you get from breathing in volcanic ash.
Okay, do you know there is a disease that you get from eating the brainstem of a human?
Really? You know, apparently a human bite is really disgusting. Like it's full of all sorts of
humans
bacteria.
are the second worst creature on the planet for bites. The bacteria in our mouths is only beaten by mosquitoes. They are the only.
Isn't it the lizards? The not the iguanas. The Komodo dragons. Komodo dragons. Yeah.
I don't know. They got venom in their spit.
Oh right, that's true. Yeah.
But like mosquitoes, they're the biggest carrier of diseases from saliva.
You know, saliva. You know, human saliva has pain-killing properties.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, why?
It does. It just does. But the phrase "kiss it better" is like it's actually true.
that would make animals lick their wounds.
Yeah, because I've heard if you lick something, it's better to like kiss it instead of licking it.
No way.
But yeah, if you like, say you like bash your elbow, kiss it. I mean, if you can even kiss your elbow, I don't know about that.
I don't think I can.
Maybe if you bash your arm, kiss it, and that it has painkilling properties.
Human bites are really bad. Like there's been stories of like teachers that get bitten by a student and lose their arm, or like go into like full on like infection, gangrenous, like complete body.
That's
shutdown.
hilarious.
People that die from child bites.
You just see a really like snotty child, and they bite you.
Don't keep them away from me. I'll fucking punt the fucker. Okay. So this disease you get from cannibalism is very similar to mad cow. It's where you eat the if you eat a certain protein, it becomes a neurodegenerative disease inside your body. So the protein that humans can eat, and it gives you effectively mad cow, is down the CNS. So from the brain from the brain stem down to about about midway down your back. If you eat any of that, there's a protein in it which will cause your brain to just melt. I believe I'm seeing one here called, you know what? I can't even pronounce this. Kreiselfricht-Jacob disease or something. Or I'm seeing a nickname Kuru come up a lot. I don't know if it is that one specifically. But yeah, I think it is. Kuru is what it's called, and it's a disease that if you eat the brainstem of a human, you will just lose your mind. Like you'll go literally insane. So
every
like
time.
Tribes in South America and in the Congo, like in the Amazon, they cannibalistic tribes. The elders of those tribes would be completely insane, like completely insane. And this scientist went there and was like, "What? Like, why are they so bad?" And it's because they were eating humans, and this protein was causing them to just melt, effectively.
I think, having said that, the best place to go in a zombie apocalypse is North Sentinel Island.
Yes, and get killed by the inhabitants. That's right.
You know, there's like an unofficial country next door.
Sealand.
Sealand.
The Principality of Sealand. You're so right.
Sealand.
You're so right.
Yeah.
We go to Sealand and we fish off it.
Isn't that just an oil rig?
It's an old observation post.
Right. Yeah.
And Sealand is so cool. They've had pirate invasions. They've had civil wars. Literally, pirates came over, took over Sealand, and the original inhabitants armed themselves with guns and reclaimed it. They've got their own flag. They claim independence from the UK, and it's got their own mayor, their own royal family. They got a population of like 4, and they have a TikTok account, which I will shout out now.
No,
it's so cool.
I've seen it.
Sealand, Principality. Yeah,
I'd be there. I'd be a citizen of Sealand.
Where is it?
It's just off the coast of Essex, I believe, or Kent. It's between France and England, and 100% independence of Sealand, 100%.
You know, it's not the only one, because there's old World War II outposts.
Oh yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, there's loads.
No, you could go to an island like Pitcairn, and I know that's in like the fucking
that's how you survive. If the whole of the UK is infected by zombies, you go to the independent country of Sealand. Thank you for watching the Hyperthetical Podcast, episode 4. If you like this, please leave a like on the video, leave a comment. How would you survive the zombie apocalypse?
Join the Discord.
Yeah. We have regular chats in there. If you have any suggestions, you can put them in the Discord. Any suggestions that are not good enough to make a full video, we'll cover it on a live stream. Any suggestions that are good enough for a video, you'll either get a shout out or, if we like you enough, would we invite them on the podcast? Maybe. It depends on what they're like. Yeah. Terms and conditions apply, but if your suggestion's good enough, you could come on here and argue it. So it's a thank you from me, your host, Bantermain Callum, and it's a thank you from...
Thank you from me, Diesel.
Thank you from PewDiePie.
That's right, he's pregnant. Anyway.
He's pregnant, everyone.
He's pregnant. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.